Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna leave this door open because it's a little toasty in here, yes? Is that okay with everyone?
I like it.
Like it, okay. All right, I'm Dr. Carla, look there, most of you know me. This is Dr. Lisa Jormu. And we decided to team up and do a workshop for you guys called Dr. Lisa and Dr. Carla's Favorite Healthy Things. Way back, Dr. Dave and I used to do this workshop. And it's definitely changed throughout the years. So tonight, the purpose is to simplify health and not complicate it. So the last thing I want you guys to do is feel like you have to go out and buy a whole bunch of things, okay? I don't want that. It's not the purpose. We want to keep it healthy. We want to focus on healthy habits, not hype. Share what we personally do and recommend, and remind you that you can't supplement your way out of a poor lifestyle, okay? So we're going to focus on lifestyle habits. We decided to do this together because 2 brains are better than 1, and Dr. Lisa is one of the smartest people I've ever met. So this is going to be great. So key message: health doesn't have to be expensive or complicated. Okay. So for those of you who are on social media right now, they're doing this trend going back like 10 years to 2016, showing all these pictures, and we did it on our social media. So I was like, well, what were we focused on about health in 2016? So I decided to go back even further to 2006 when we were first opened our practice. So we're celebrating our 20-year anniversary this year, which is very exciting. So back in 2006, I just had my first baby and we just opened our practice. So obviously stress was very high, but that was like still like the low fat, willpower, like burn calories, calories in, calories out stuff. High carb, low fat, like diet stuff. Like we were still into that back then, you know? Long cardio, very little strength training was emphasized, especially with women. And health was like a number on the scale. And we didn't talk about stress at all. It was like the more stressed you were, the better. And the less sleep you got, like you bragged about it. And you'd be like, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Like I remember saying that stuff. And then fast forward, so basically that was bad, right? There was more processed foods, blood sugar issues, inflammation, burnout, not good. 2016, with the invention of like smartphones and tracking and wearable devices, we started tracking calories and wearing stuff and counting steps and all that, right? And then these diets came out, like the paleo diet, Whole30, gluten-free. Like I've been doing workshops for years, and Barbara over here has been to every single one, and that's not a joke. And I, for real, and like she'll tell you what I'm talking about tonight was like so different than what I talked about 10 years ago or 20 years ago, okay? We talked, protein powders, supplements, there was more info, which is great, but more pressure, and the result was we had better awareness about our health, but more stress, perfectionism, inconsistency, okay? We're in 2026 now, and more stuff going on, but we're hoping we're gonna talk more about longevity and optimization of health, okay? Focus on metabolism and building muscle, because muscle is medicine. And of course, there's so much biohacking, you've heard that word before, tools out there. And a lot of them are good. We're going to talk about them tonight, like saunas, red light, cold therapy. And of course, there's a lot of stuff about these GLP-1 medications, okay? Not a fan, just because we just don't know what we don't know. And instead of just losing weight, we're losing muscle and bone density, okay? So I wanted to add that because it's a big thing right now. But we're finally talking about sleep more and recovery and rest. Okay, that's super important. But there's also the risk of over-optimization. So tools help only if the basics are in place, and that's what tonight's all about. Okay? Okay, me hold? Okay.
So the biggest word tonight to take away is consistency. Like you all know, we always talk about consistency. The more consistent you are, the better results you get, right? With chiropractic care, but that doesn't stop with chiropractic care. It's also true with your health, okay? So, what I mean by consistency when it comes to your health is you pick the things that are important to you and like what are your health goals, all those types of things, and you're gonna make a plan and you stay consistent with it. So you're not gonna only do it like once a month or once every couple weeks or even once a week, right? You want to do these things every day to build habits, because then it's less like you're not sitting there like, where do I start? Okay, so
And just to add with that, like, we shouldn't just be healthy in January, okay, because it's a new year, or it's bathing suit season, right? Like, we wanna set you guys up for healthy habits all year long, so that when, you know, a celebration comes around, like a wedding or a birthday or Christmas, that you allow yourself to enjoy life and indulge, and then you get right back at it, okay? But that takes effort and consistency, and that's what we're gonna teach you, okay?
So these things up on the screen are all of them except for one is free. And so these are things that you can do every single day. They're actually things that I incorporate in my life. I'm not perfect.
Pretty close.
Even though I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. But we're gonna first talk about sunlight. So especially morning sunlight, this actually helps you set you up for a better sleep cycle, or helps set your circadian rhythm. So if you get morning sunlight, so within 30 minutes of waking up, you wanna get 5 to 10 minutes of sunlight. So if you wear glasses, take your glasses off. You don't wanna wear sunshades, sunglasses. So you want the sun, even if it's cloudy out, get outside, let that sun get into your eyes. Because then your melatonin release at nighttime to go to sleep happens a lot quicker, okay? Or earlier in the night, so that you get a better night's sleep. And that leads into quality sleep, getting quality sleep. We're gonna talk more about sleep later and how to get quality sleep at nighttime, okay? Walking daily. So there's a lot of research that suggests 30 minutes of walking every day actually decreases cardiovascular incidents later in life. Or if you even have had a cardiovascular incident, or like a heart attack or something like that, walking actually decreases your chance of having another one. So 30 minutes is all it takes every day. I know it kind of seems daunting sometimes, especially when you have 2 feet of snow outside. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna get my walk in today? But just make time for it, okay? Spending time outside. So our bodies are actually meant to be outside. We're not meant to be in a temperature controlled environment every day, all day long. So we're meant to be outside. And so get outside. The more you're outside, the better your sleep is at nighttime, which is crazy. Meditation or breathwork. So I actually meditate every morning. I started in 2013, meditating every day. And I'll tell you, it was the hardest thing for me to start, but I was like, I'm going to do this every day. My stress levels were super high. And I was like, I'm gonna do this every day. I don't care if my mind's going like this way or that way. I'm just gonna, like, when I recognize it's doing that, I'm gonna just bring it back to this meditation. So I did a lot of guided meditation, and I still do it every day. My body's stress response is a lot better because of that, okay? Breath work. The easiest way to do breath work is called 4-8-8 breathing. So basically what you do is you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold it for 8, and you breathe out for 8. And you do that for a cycle of 30, and it takes about 10 minutes to do that full cycle. So, and that helps with the stress response in our body, okay? Being barefoot outside or being grounded, or like, it's grounding. Obviously right now there's so much snow outside. I was joking with Dr. Carla that I still walk barefoot in the snow, but getting your bare feet on the ground. So the earth and our bodies are electrically charged similarly, and it's the fastest way for our body to actually regulate itself and get the stress, or like allow our body to deal with stress easier when you ground. So 5-10 minutes a day when you can. So walking on pavement doesn't count. You gotta be on like grass, sand, dirt, something like that. Bare feet.
The snow count?
Snow counts, yeah, snow counts. If you wanna be crazy, go walk out in the snow too. This is a huge one, screen time. Who wakes up in the morning and picks up their phone first thing? Yeah. So we gotta break that habit. Okay, so waking up to a screen and going to sleep with the screen. Who's on their phone right before they go to sleep? Yeah, or a TV or something like that. So when you first wake up in the morning, do your meditation, go outside, get your morning sunlight, and then go on your phone, okay? So the first thing you're doing shouldn't be going on your phone. It actually messes up your sleep cycle. So, and then we'll talk about later for your before bedtime too. And then drinking enough water. So this one's a doozy. Everyone's like, how much water do I drink? How much is the right amount? right? I used to work with this really amazing nephrologist, a kidney doctor, and he told me your body's gonna tell you when you're thirsty, and he's not wrong. The other thing though is if you find that you're like drinking a ton of water all day long and your pee is clear, that's not good. So you want your pee to be a tinge of yellow, because that shows you that you are actually holding on to some of that water that you're intaking, and your body's using it. When your pee is clear, you're basically just flushing your system. You don't have like sodium and stuff to hold on to that water. So that's why I have electrolytes up there. That's the only thing that costs money up here. But putting electrolytes in your water once a day, you should start your day with electrolytes. Replace it before you lose it. Okay, so you intake the electrolytes, it helps you hold on to the water, so it helps your body be more hydrated throughout the day. Okay?
So you can basically drink too much water.
Yeah, you can drink too much water. Yeah.
So if you see your pee is like clear, so does that mean you should stop drinking water?
No,
For a
you
while?
should bring electrolytes into
Well,
your.
I have electrolytes, I do that first thing in the morning.
Yeah, so if your pee is clear, then you're drinking, it's too much water for the amount of sodium that you're intaking.
And-
so your body's not using it, it's just flushing it right through.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of electrolytes do you add, and is there some basic formula for like how much water per your weight?
There's not a basic formula for body for weight unless you know
No.
something.
But I know that a brand we like is called Relight, and there's LMNT, but that's more expensive, and I think they have some extra additives in there, so it's called Relight, and there's some samples in that raffle basket back there. So there's a scoop, like I like to buy the tub of it, and I didn't bring any today, I brought some other stuff, but there's a tub, and you just put one scoop in the morning and that's it.
It's
Yeah.
pretty salty, so
Yeah,
I'll just
but it tastes great. Yeah.
get the mango flavor is my favorite.
Like one scoop in
yeah,
8 ounces,
yeah.
12 ounces?
16 ounces, I think it
Instead
says
of
on the
just
bottle.
drinking like
Okay.
three of these a day. Like, it's hilarious how we walk around with these things all the time now. And I always joke, like in the 80s, like we didn't drink water at all. Like I don't remember drinking water. Like I drank milk and
Water
like
hose.
Sunny D or something. I don't even remember. And now we're like walking around with these things, and now we're like, okay, now we have to add electrolytes to it. So it's like ever changing stuff, but makes sense, and that kidney doctor makes sense. So who can do better with these? Well, first of all, who's mastered all of these? I sure haven't. It's a thing I have to work on every single day. Like to not check my phone in the morning. Like I check it so I can see how I slept the night before, and it's really hard for me to put it down and just meditate and focus. Like it's hard. So it takes work. So we have to master these first. Does anyone have any questions about these? And by the way, you don't have to wait till the end to ask questions. Like,
So when you say drinking enough water, I've heard that if you have coffee or tea or seltzer, sometimes that doesn't add to the water. In fact, you should
Right.
drink double. Can you elaborate on that?
yes. So first thing you should do when you wake up, after you meditate and look at the sun, is drink some water with electrolytes before, and then you're gonna eat breakfast, and then you're gonna have coffee. Yeah, I know.
Preposterous, right?
Like,
That's not on my chiropractic mug, it says coffee.
I know. It does, and it says chocolate.
It
You're
does.
right. Coffee's good. Coffee's good, but you just went a whole night with, being dehydrated, and coffee does dehydrate you. So you want to drink your water first. You want to eat something. We're gonna get into that, and then have coffee, because coffee right away bumps up your cortisol, so it makes you more stressed right away in the morning when your cortisol is already high. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. So just like a glass of water, doesn't have to be like 20 glasses, Any other questions on these things that we're gonna work so hard on?
For screen time, what about those of us that use our phones as an alarm clock?
That's fine.
Okay.
Turn it off, but just don't pick up
But
your
then
phone.
don't-
and, like,
Alright.
start
Continue
scrolling.
looking at the phone and doom scroll, I call it. Like set your alarm off, put it away, and we're not saying never look at your phone, but when the blue light from a phone mimics like the light from the sun and all the lights indoors, and it's telling your body like, wake up. So it's worse at night to look at your phone than in the morning, but it's just a bad habit to like pick up your phone and then start scrolling, and then 45 minutes later you're like, crap, like I gotta shower and get ready for work. Like that's what we're saying, you know what I mean? Yep.
Does magnesium help with the cortisol? If you
We-
take it in the morning?
We will talk about
Yeah,
magnesium.
we're talking about
later, yeah.
magnesium.
Okay, we're
Okay.
out of the game.
But take a picture of the screen, like screenshot this. This is your bread and butter right here. Okay, everyone got that?
No.
And we're gonna come back to this, but like this,
What do you do if you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get to work and
And
you
there's
leave
no
before
sun?
the sun's up?
I mean,
I
that-
do that.
that's gonna happen.
I mean, I'm on the road
But
at
you try to
4:30.
get, so, back to her question too, is like, the blue light in the morning, so Dr. Carla touched on the blue light from the screen in the morning, isn't the same as the sun blue light, and it's more intense, okay? So, it's hard in the wintertime here especially, but I get up early too, so when you get up, when you get to work and it's starting, and then the light comes out, just get outside if you can.
Okay. Yeah, I normally go out
Go.
about 7:30, 8 o'clock for.
Yeah, just get some, yeah,
Okay, so some things that cost a little more, but have definitely worth the effort, okay? Number one is obviously, well, in no order, movement or exercise you enjoy, okay? So you have to move your body every day, we have to walk every day, okay? And when we're gonna exercise, whether it's pickleball or hiking a mountain or running a marathon or doing an exercise class, like that's great. You gotta move our bodies for cardiovascular and lung function, you know, bone density, all that stuff, stress management. But the number one up there, what does it say? We need to lift weights, okay? This is non-negotiable. You take anything out of today, 2 times a week minimum, 20 to 30 minutes. If you have no idea where to start, we can help you. But there's so much information online on YouTube and social media and ChatGPT of like weight workouts you can do. You can lift weights at home, like simple resistance bands or dumbbells, or basic gym memberships, which I don't know how expensive a gym membership these days, but if that helps
About
you,
30 a month.
okay, if that helps you get motivated, because you're not the type of person that's like, I'm gonna go down to the basement and lift weights right now. Some people that takes a little more discipline and effort, right? If a gym membership helps, lifting weights, like, it sets us up for our future selves, because we want to be strong when we're 100 years old. So think of your future 100-year-old self, lifting groceries, lifting your grandkids, being able to walk up the stairs, getting up from a chair unassisted. And we lose bone density and muscle mass in our 30s, especially as women, okay? And we were never taught to lift weights. We were told to like do cardio and eat salad and chicken, okay? So we need to lift heavy weights. Heavy for us, that might be 5 pounds for someone, okay? Dr. Lisa's doing a fitness competition in July. She lifts real heavy weights. You don't have to do that. But she also doesn't spend hours in the gym either, okay? If we have questions about that, you can ask us later. Eating real whole foods. We always talk about our office putting good stuff into our body, okay? We're gonna get to nutrition in detail later. And of course, the word stress management is thrown out there all the time. And we're like, well, how do I manage my stress? Like, I have so much stress. You do this stuff. This stuff is gonna help your body handle stress better, okay? And then my favorite ever, we're all chiropractic patients here, okay? Chiropractic is the best thing for stress management. If your nervous system and spine are healthy, your body can just work better, okay? You guys have been patients for a long time, you know that. Like I said, movement you enjoy. Health is built through daily habits, not extreme. So I'm gonna play you a video. You guys might have seen it online or YouTube. It's a Christmas video. And it brings a tear to my eye. It's kind of long, not that long, but I love it because it's just cute. Can anyone see that? You want to turn the lights off? Okay. Like his face is priceless. Consistency.
He's like, am I getting anywhere? We've all had that feeling.
Yeah.
I thought you used to be able to move a dead body or something.
So.
That's a heck of a Christmas right there.
That's funny. Oh my god, that was
Oh my
funny.
goodness.
Okay, so that's, like, if you're wondering, like, why we say lifting weights is important, it's because of that stuff. Like, he didn't wanna look good, he doesn't care. He's like probably 80 years old, 85 years old, like, he just wants to lift his granddaughter up, and I thought that was pretty awesome.
Motivation is key.
Yes,
Yeah, I
Have a
mean,
motivation.
okay. So let's talk a little bit about supplements.
okay, so, supplements, supplements are not, you cannot out supplement a bad lifestyle. Sorry to tell you, so you can't take a million things and be like, you know, social media tells us, oh, just take this one thing and you're gonna be great, you know, all of that's not true. You have to get the basics down first, okay? And then, I'm gonna just talk to you about the supplements that we actually do need every day. So number one, vitamin D. We live in New England. We cannot get vitamin D from the sun for 6, almost 7 months out of the year. Okay, so it is very important to supplement with vitamin D. We're gonna go over, Dr. Carla is gonna go over some brands that we use and like dosing and stuff like that, okay? Omega-3s. So first, vitamin D actually helps with our immune system. So it helps our immune system. So the reason why we get sicker in the winter is because our vitamin D levels start dropping because we don't get vitamin D from the sun. And if you're not supplementing, you get sicker because that's what helps drive our immune system. Omega-3s help with our cardiovascular health. Okay, they're anti-inflammatory. So even if you are have some inflammation in your body, they're going to help bring that down. And then we eat way too many omega-6s, which we'll get into a little bit later. Magnesium. So to your question from earlier, but magnesium is super important to help with sleep, muscle recovery. It's really just important for like all functions in our body, for nerve function, muscle function, all those types of things. So taking any type of magnesium, as long as it ends in ATE, that's the most important part. So you can take threonate, glycinate, what are some of the other ones? Citrate.
Threonate.
Yeah.
Just to touch on magnesium, the reason we're deficient in magnesium is because it's not in our soil anymore, because our soil's been so depleted with like farming and like pesticides and stuff like that. Otherwise, like back in the day, we were getting enough of these minerals because it was in their soil and we were getting it from our food. Unfortunately, we're not anymore, and then adding in processed foods and grains and sugar depletes our magnesium even more, and drinking alcohol and stress and list goes on. So I just wanted to add that.
And then creatine. So creatine is actually very well studied. A lot of people think, oh, it's only for people who lift weights.
I brought some here.
So creatine is actually something we can take that actually helps us neurologically. It helps our nerves. It helps the function of our brain. So our brain takes about 20% of our energy every day, and if you feed your body 5 grams of creatine a day, it actually uses that creatine as energy. So then it doesn't deplete you throughout the day, so you're not as tired throughout the day. So 5 grams a day is the therapeutic dose for that, and it's when you take it, you should take it at the same time every day. So no matter if you're taking it in the morning, if you're taking it in the evening, middle of the day, it should be around the same time every day. And that's also going to be protective thing that we can do to help against depression is like a big thing for depression right now that they're studying, and then any like neurocognitive diseases like dementia, Alzheimer's, those types of things. So it's very like a neuroprotective supplement. So even if you're not lifting weights.
But you are lifting weights, so it's even more important to take.
Yes.
Right?
That's first.
Because everyone's gonna be lifting weights, so then we're gonna take some creatine. So these are the basic ones, okay? If you're deficient in other things, and you got tested, and you're like, I'm low in this, that's when we talk about adding more supplements in. So my sister texted me the other day, and she's like, I'm taking this cortisol support. She sends me like the stuff, and it's all good stuff in there. And I said, well, how do you know if you have high or low cortisol? She's like, well, I took a quiz online. And I said, I get it, like those things are all over Instagram if you're online, like, and then you click on one thing, and then for the next 3 days, you get ads for all, so I did this last year when, like I got my hormones tested and my testosterone was low. So of course I looked online, and now for like days, I got all this hormone support. And they all look like great things, promising, oh, you're gonna lose weight, and you're gonna sleep better, and you're like, no, like that's all garbage. You have to do the basic stuff first, and then this stuff, and if you're deficient, then talk about adding some other stuff in. Because there's other stuff we take, like I take, well, we'll get into that, but I take, this stuff when I sleep at night, this magnesium drink, it's pretty cool, I just found that at Whole Foods. I take those 4, and maybe 1 or 2 extra things, okay? I don't even take a multivitamin anymore. I don't know if you do, but no. Questions about supplements? We're gonna get into some brands in a little bit. It's still you.
So you can't, basically you cannot biohack a bad lifestyle. So fix the basics. Do those first. Supplements aren't gonna fix you not getting enough sleep. You need to sleep, okay? They're not gonna, like if you're eating out for every meal, you're not making your meals at home, good wholesome meals. You can't take supplements or take more, or like take more sauna or, cold plunges or whatever. You can't do any of that to fix it. So, chronic stress, the things we talked about, okay? Going back to that one slide that y'all took pictures of. And then make sure you have consistent habits, okay? Those consistent habits build over time. The more consistent you are, they become second nature. They don't seem as difficult in the future.
Okay, so favorite supplements, brands, for omega-3s, we talked about that. Nordic Naturals or Carlson's is great. They sell those at Whole Foods. If you find Whole Foods a little pricey, there's a great supplement store on Exit 5 in Nashua called Medicine World. And it's a pharmacy, but they have these really knowledgeable staff and this whole like shelves and shelves of really good supplements. Of course, you can get supplements through us. Pure Encapsulations and Standard Process are really great brands. Integrative Therapeutics for magnesium. There's 7 different types of magnesium, and this brand carries 3. And vitamin D, we like Nordic Naturals or Pure Encapsulations. We have in that raffle basket back there, vitamin D and fish oil for you to win. Other trusted brands are Thorne, Trace Minerals, and we love Standard Process. We can sell you that through our podcast. So quality matters more than quantity. Okay, you can over supplement and screw yourself up just like you can with medication. So back in Christmas, Dr. Dave and my daughter got a stomach bug over Christmas. It was lovely. And I'm like, I'm not getting this thing. There's no way I'm getting this thing. So I loaded up on activated charcoal and oil of oregano because I'm like, I'm killing this, okay? I didn't get the stomach bug, but like a week later, like I was so bloated and I had so much pain right here, I thought I was dying. I'm like, what did I do? And of course, I told Dr. Lisa, and she's like, you took way too much charcoal. Like, what are you doing, idiot? And so you can like overdo it. So don't overdo it, okay? Because you think you're doing yourself more good, but you're really hurting yourself. Because supplements are pretty powerful too, okay? Don't do what I do. And that was just Christmas, like, but I didn't get the stomach bug. So Dr. Lisa's gonna talk about some cool, fun stuff here that are like trendy now, I guess. But
Yeah, so we're gonna first talk about saunas. So that's the correct way to say this. My heritage is Finnish. That's where saunas come from. So I can't bring myself to say it the way you say it in America. How do you say it?
Not Massachusetts.
Sauna.
Sauna.
So saunas, there's a ton of research that came out in the last 5 years from Finland, actually. There's great therapeutic benefit. Okay, so it raises your cortisol levels a little bit when you're in the sauna, so it gives you a little bit of a stress response. It's the same as like walking for 30 minutes. Okay. However, there's a catch. If you have unmanaged stress and your stress levels are up here, the amount of time you spend, this is a traditional like Finnish sauna, so not like the red light or the infrared saunas, but Traditional, it's like 150 to 190 degrees, okay? But if you have stress that's out here that's not controlled, 10 to 20 minutes, 2 to 4 times a week to reach therapeutic benefit. And we're gonna talk about the benefits of using a sauna. However, if your stress is managed pretty well, the therapeutic effect of that is 3 to 5 times a week for 20 to 30 minutes, the same degrees, okay? If your stress is up here, no cold plunging at all. No cold, it will actually mess you up more. But if your stress is more managed, you can do 30 to 60 seconds of cold. And going hot to cold is actually very beneficial. So it increases your stress response when you're in there. But after your body goes into this parasympathetic state where it's a lot more relaxed, and there's a ton of benefits to it. So like metabolically, you have metabolic benefits as far as how fast your mitochondria works, or your powerhouse in your cells, okay? It also decreases your chances of having any neurodegenerative diseases, which is like another great thing, right? So dementia, Parkinson's, those types of things. We'll also talk about red light therapy. So the there's a million red lights out there. We're all like, which one do we get? As long as it's a wavelength of 600 to 900, that's a good light, yeah.
I started the red light therapy, a week ago, and I've seen a huge difference, like, with my shoulder
Awesome.
and my foot.
Did you buy a red light, or you're going somewhere to do it?
No, I'm going somewhere.
Okay.
And I gained a pound of, lean mass.
That's awesome. Yeah, so what it does is it actually increases the same thing as the sound. It actually increases your ATP production so that your cellular turnover is higher. And so those cells actually repair a lot quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your ATP production just goes through the roof with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Weighted vest. So this is gonna go along with home. So first time I actually talk about home gym. So your home gym, the best thing to get for your home gym is yourself. Okay, body weight is actually really beneficial. And then we're gonna talk about how Dr. Carla says we need to do weightlifting. We do. She's not wrong. And a quick way to do that is just put a weighted vest on for body weight exercise.
When you take your 30-minute walk too.
Yeah, when you take your 30-minute walk. So this actually adds axial load. So when you wear it, so it should be snug when you buy one, and it should be equal pound from front and back. And it should be no more than 10% of your entire body weight. So it shouldn't weigh more than that, and between 5 and 10% of what your body weight is what you should wear. Okay, so you can wear it for your walks. But it increases your axial load, which increases muscle mass, also increases bone density, or like prevents women from losing bone density, because at the age of 30, we cannot gain any more bone density than we already have as women. As men, for men it's different, because you got testosterone working for you. But cold exposure, so this is a huge thing. Everyone's like, let's do cold plunges. Research shows you only need 11 minutes a week for therapeutic benefit. That could be, if you have high stress levels, 30 seconds of cold right at the end of your shower in the morning. 30 to
30 seconds is a long time.
When that's ice cold, you're like, right? So 30 to 60 seconds, yeah, right in the morning, and that actually puts you in a parasympathetic state after the fact, which helps you manage stress throughout the day. It's a magical thing, right?
Can I just add something about cold plunges? Women don't need as cold as men. Thank God.
Yeah, we need like women 57 to
Yeah.
65
Men
degrees.
can handle much colder. Women, we're not supposed to because it messes our hormones up. Thank God. I don't have a cold plunge, and I'm not buying one. I do turn my shower to cold, but God, 30 seconds, I'm like, come on.
At this wellness place that I'm going to, they
Yeah.
said that, cause she told me about this, she said what to do is take a bowl of water, fill it with ice, and she said to put your face in there and try to hold it for 30 seconds. And then.
Trying to drown
It's the same idea as the plunge, but you just put your face in this.
Yeah, with a cold plunge, you're not supposed to put your head under though, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, she says it's just the face.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Probably good for your skin, wakes you up for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Carry on.
So cold, no more than 11 minutes, you don't need more than 11 minutes a week, so.
That's a long time.
That's
Does
a
anyone
little
cold
over,
plunge?
a little over 60
Yeah.
seconds in a day, so it's not that, it's totally overdone, and when you overdo it, it actually, like Dr. Carla said, it messes with your hormones, but it actually has the reverse effect. So it actually creates a higher cortisol response than you want. It actually creates more inflammation, so the longer you're in it, you can get hypothermia from it, start getting hypothermic type symptoms, and then your body has to recover from that, that's where the inflammation factor comes in. So there's a lot of, if you're doing it too much, there's negative side effects. So for the home gym, like I talked about, the weighted vest number one is you, okay? Body weight exercise, get moving, okay? But put that weighted vest on for those body weight exercises. Simple, we can talk about a little later about like what exercises you can do with a vest on. But then you can also get just like, you don't need 20-pound dumbbells even. You can get like the stacked dumbbells off of Amazon. They have, like they go from some of them
5
go
to
from like
25, and you could just lock them in and they change. They add weight.
Yeah.
They're kind of cool. I wish I would have brought a picture of those.
And then like resistance bands, like Dr. Carla talked about previously. Anything that's gonna add resistance to allow those muscles, because basically we wanna work the muscle enough that it is putting stress on the bone, because that's how we prevent bone loss from happening. It's putting stress on those bones.
And
Okay.
kettlebells are good too, just like the guy in the video, old school.
Yes.
Yeah,
What about wrist and ankle weights?
those are great too.
Okay.
Wrist and ankle weights, yeah, for sure. So these enhance health, they don't replace the basics again, okay? And it's like vibration plates out there. I'm not sold yet. I might buy one just for fun. But I don't know if they like claim that you like melt, the fat's just gonna melt off your body once you use it every day for 10 minutes. I don't think that's true, but I think it could help with like lymph flow and drainage and stuff like that.
But if
Looks
you got
kinda fun.
bad knees, I don't know.
Pardon?
If you got bad knees, it
Yeah.
hurts knees, cause I
I
have
know,
one
like I
at
said,
home.
I've never used it,
I
jury's
didn't
still out
use
for
it.
me, but they look kinda fun. But literally the ads online are like, oh, you'll gain muscle mass and lose weight. I'm like, oh, that's cool, I don't know. So I wanna talk about some labs, cause it's very important to test, not to guess. That's why we take x-rays in our office, that's why, I always say like, okay, well, why are you taking that supplement? Well, because it looks cool, like, we need to know, like, are we actually deficient? And of course, so much of these labs depend on what we're eating, and we're gonna get to that in a second. So, when you do get lab work done, whether it's through your doctor or like a local lab, or you can do, labs yourself now through like companies like, what's the one you use?
Jason Labs.
Jason Labs or Function. Really important that you do these ones, okay? You can add like a thyroid and hormone stuff in there too, but hormones are best tested with saliva or urine. So vitamin D, Dr. Lee's talked about that. When we look at these values, we want to be optimal. Oftentimes you go to your doctor and you get your blood work back and they say, oh, you're normal. But normal is not, like that's compared to the average person. We don't want to be normal, we want to be optimal, okay? So you want to be in the higher end. So you want your vitamin D to be above 60, okay? Your doctor might say, oh, yours is 40, you're fine, you're normal, okay? Normal's not good, optimal's good. B12, 800, CRP, that's a measure of your inflammation in your body. So you don't want a lot of inflammation in your body, you want a little bit, but you don't want more than one. And your lipids, that's your triglycerides, okay, you don't want those too high, 60 milligrams per deciliter. Fasting glucose, you don't want that above 85, okay? And your A1C, that's a measure of your blood glucose over like a 6-month period, okay? If it's over 5, that's a red flag that you're insulin resistant and possibly diabetic, okay? And then your homocysteine should be less than 50. These are just, I think, really important ones, okay? Like I said, you can add a little more on there, like a thyroid panel. But again, labs guide decisions, they don't replace your healthy habits. Okay, so when we get sick, there's some things we can do. One of my favorite mentors, my chiropractic mentors, he said, you don't get sick, you do sick. So it's all about your lifestyle and your healthy habits that determine Like, that germ's not just gonna like jump at you and you get sick. It's your environment, your habitat, what you're doing every day in your body that determines, if you're gonna express that in terms of like cold or flu. And that's not to say you don't ever get sick. Like, it happens, especially here. We're inside all the time. It's 1 degree in the morning when you wake up and there's 2 feet of snow. Like, we haven't seen real sun since September, right? Unless we've gone away, which is lucky for you. But these are some things we like to take to enhance our immune system when we get a cold or flu, okay? But the most important things when you do have a cold or flu and you get symptoms is to allow your body to fight it, because it's there for a reason. We always say, if you have a fever, we don't want to artificially lower the fever. Why? I'll give you a chocolate if you get the right answer.
Because your body fights the infection.
Certain
Yes,
bacteria can
like,
tolerate high
Your
temperatures.
body is like, oh, sorry.
T cells.
Your body is like
You're right.
heating up to fight off the infection, okay? So don't fight that, okay? Your nose is draining, you have a headache, you feel like absolute crap, because your body's getting rid of the gunk.
Mhm.
But there's some things we can do to help that along and to help us feel a little better. This list isn't exhaustive, I bought some stuff here, but oil of oregano, don't overdo it. This is like a natural antimicrobial, so like a natural antibiotic. There's actually studies that show that it actually works better than the antibiotics, okay?
What is the dosing on that?
Like one
One
capsule.
capsule a
a
day.
day.
Capsule a day?
Don't do more, 'cause
Yeah.
that's something
I'm
else.
not.
Vitamin C and D, huge. We're already taking vitamin D, but when you get a cold, you want to up that. So in the winter, I take like 2,000 to 5,000. I use a vitamin D. If I'm not feeling great, I up that. Like, I double that. It's a lot. Same with my vitamin C. I love essential oils. Like, love them. I put a bunch in the basket. They're oils extracted from plants that have a lot of healing properties. They have like frankincense and different blends that just help. I don't know, sometimes when your kids are not feeling great, you just want to help them a little bit. You want to give them something. And I found, like, I've been using essential oils for like 10 years now. And they're awesome, and my favorite company is called doTERRA. There's some in the basket back there. Colloidal silver, also antimicrobial, and helps enhance your immune system. You can get it like a spray. You spray it in your mouth. I swear, it works great.
But don't overdo it, because if you do too much, you turn blue.
You don't want to turn blue.
And you can't reverse the blueness once you turn blue.
I've never heard that, but I mean, with Dr. Lisa said
You have to
so.
do a lot.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I took some black seed oil when I had COVID, and it seemed to help. Bone broth is also great. This brand is great. It's called Bare Bones. You get like a little packet, put it in some water, hot water. It's like lemon ginger. Really good. Everyone craves soup when they're sick.
I don't.
Electrolytes, like Dr. Lisa mentioned, you have to stay hydrated. My favorite is honey, garlic, and lemon tea. Everyone,
That's an
when they were,
interesting combination.
grew up in the 80s and you were sick at home, your mom made you tea and toast, and you watched The Price is Right. And that'll never go away from me. Right? Am I right? Like,
What about like peppermint or the turmeric and ginger combination?
I think
All
that's
the
great
above?
too. Ginger's great. Like, all of this stuff to help boost your immune system. My favorite is raw honey. Apple cider vinegar is good too. Anything else? Do you take? I mean, vitamin C and D are huge. But I just find these things help to just boost your immune system, and maybe that cold won't hang on as long. Rather than taking
NyQuil.
NyQuil, all over the counter stuff. No judging if you take that stuff, but that doesn't make your immune system any stronger. Okay? Anything to add with this?
Yeah, obviously the best thing to do is get adjusted. If you're starting to feel
Oh yeah, I
like,
forgot that one.
if you're starting to feel something come in and get adjusted, your immune system is actually boosted about 200% for like 24 to 48 hours after an adjustment. So if you get an adjustment and you're like, I actually feel worse after the adjustment, like the cold came on really strong after that, or the sickness came on really strong, it's not surprising, because your immune system's actually ramped up fighting that infection a little bit, or like stronger. I don't know.
Yeah, so don't, like, when you do have a cold, don't wait until your scheduled adjustment, like, call us and be like, oh, well, I don't wanna come in because I'm sick and I don't wanna spread my germs, we don't care. Come at the end of shift and we'll give you an adjustment. It really helps, it makes you feel better too. Especially if you have that like achiness and headache when you have that like flu-like symptoms, okay? Any questions about our favorite sick things?
What was that brand of bone broth?
It's called Bare Bones.
Bare bone.
Yeah.
They come in little packets. There's different types of bone broth, but I just like this. And this is like lemon ginger, so it doesn't taste like,
Yeah.
it's chicken bone broth too, like beef bone broth.
Yeah. I
Ew,
tried
that's
that one.
only,
I-
that's only for like stew.
So if somebody gets the flu shot and they end up not feeling well, so should they still come in and get adjusted, or is
No,
that like
so the-
totally different?
Flu shot's different, so after a vaccine, you shouldn't get adjusted for, or like 2 days, is it 2 days or 3 days?
Even if you feel like shit?
Yeah, so you shouldn't come to get an adjustment right after,
Yeah.
right after an adjustment.
These
Or
are all,
after an-
these are all natural flu shots right here, and an
Okay.
adjustment is the most.
I mean, I didn't have a flu shot, I was just curious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
most
so-
people, yeah,
Yeah, after vaccination, you shouldn't get adjusted for like a couple days.
and then I wanna talk about our favorite at-home stuff, like cleaners, self-care products, all this stuff. We are living in like a toxic soup of chemicals that we put on our bodies, we put in our bodies, and that surround us in our homes. Like, it's unbelievable. And it messes with our hormones, men and women. They're called xenoestrogens. They actually like increase our estrogen. And they're also called obesogens. So all these toxics, like, that get stored in our fat, and we hang on to fat longer. Okay, so the best thing you can do is wipe out all the toxic stuff in your house. And it's cheaper to use natural stuff anyway. What I use vinegar, water, and I add essential oils. That's what I clean my house with. My house cleaners know not to use any bleach, because it's disgusting. And it just robs the good bacteria that's on your body that your body needs, okay? Cleaning too much with bleach and toxic chemicals, not good. I use a brand for my laundry called Pods, and Dr. Lisa puts vinegar right in the washing machine,
I do too.
and she likes using hydrogen peroxide to clean. That's our cleaning stuff. It should be so basic and so simple. Self-care, especially as women, we put so much stuff on our skin, it's crazy. So less you can do, the better. Like, nothing at all would be probably the best. But, you know, we like to put maybe, you know, use some makeup and some skincare stuff. So you probably heard a lot about beef tallow. It's like the fat rendered from beef bones. And I have a company that I like called Claire and Fritz Tallow Shop. This is just like a tallow stick, and it's like a moisturizer, and you can put it on your face, on your body. It's pretty cool.
Does it smell?
I don't think this one does, but they do have different flavored ones. Flavored, I mean scented ones, not flavored. But you can actually eat beef tallow. So like, think about like, if you wouldn't eat it, then don't put it on your skin, or your hair, or your body. Okay? I know this is hard, because we spend so much money and so much stuff like on our skin to make it better, and honestly, I think it makes it worse over time. Castor oil is great. Dr. Lisa uses that, and she can tell you how that's helped her. Tell them about your story.
So I, as a teenager, had horrible cystic acne. Like, I have acne scars, like, but I had it all on my jawline, here, and then like on my forehead. And I did almost everything in the books aside from, there was the acne medication.
Accutane.
Accutane. I did almost everything except for that. And nothing, like, it seemed to work for a little bit, and then I would come back and it would be worse. And then COVID hit, and then wearing a mask more, and then the pressure that was on my face actually made the cystic acne even worse. And so my face was so broken out, and I was like, couldn't put anything on my face. I couldn't even wear a mask some days because I was like, it was so painful. And one of my friends was like, why don't you use castor oil? So I've been using castor oil at this point for like menstrual cramps, because you can get a pack and you put it over your abdomen. It actually helps a lot with like menstrual cramps. And I was like, put it on my face and stuff, super sticky. She's like, just do it. So I actually started using it on my face and put it on at night before I go to bed. And I actually use it as a hair mask too. So one time a week I put it in my hair, And if you get castor oil that's infused with rosemary, it actually helps your, the thickness of your hair, the growth of your hair. So my hair grows super fast. It grows about 6 inches in like 2 months. So it grows,
Wow.
it's like a weed, but it grows super fast. And I partly attribute it to the castor oil, cause it's been like, and then my hair is like thickening back up, and that's cause of the castor oil. But I put it on my face when I go to sleep, and then you just rinse your face with water in the morning, like cool water. That's all you need. And it's sticky for like, so you put it on with your skin a little bit, like moist. It soaks in a little bit better.
Does it help with, digestion too?
I don't know about that. I know like it helps with like the liver, it helps with, menstrual stuff. If you have really, bad fibroids, actually it's been shown to decrease fibroids, using the packs.
There's some people who just swear by castor oil, and there's this doctor I follow online, and if I remember her name, I'll tell it to you, and you can look at like her videos and stuff, and, have more information about it.
Like I used to joke with one of my friends, I was like, I would like a castor oil tub.
I also discovered a couple years ago, shampoo bars and conditioner, like, so just like you would use a soap bar, use it for your hair. And I thought, how is this gonna clean my hair? Like, how is this gonna work? But I've been using it for 2 years, from a company called Earthling Company. And you just lather it up, just like regular shampoo, and it works like magic. And they have like a conditioning bar, and I got Lisa to switch, and got my mom to switch. So it's called Earthling Company. They also make like dry shampoo and like body and hair oil, and it's all natural good stuff. Crunchy, earthy stuff. I like the brand Caramely Pure for skincare, a little more pricey. Coconut oil is great on your skin. I like the brand Hello for toothpaste. Hello, non-fluoride. And for makeup, because I do wear some makeup, I've definitely cut back, but there's a brand called Ilia, I-L-I-A, is pretty clean. There is a lot of good clean stuff out there, because that's what people are looking for. But the more basic, the better, because the amount of chemicals, if you look at your shampoo bottle, the amount of chemicals on there, and you can look at your products you use in your house and on your body, and you can go to there's an app called Think Dirty or something like that. I have it on my phone. It's the Environmental Working Group, and it gives you like a grade of how healthy and green it is. So green is good. Red would be like, don't put this on your body. Okay? It's called Environmental Working Group. I think the app's called Think Dirty. But that's kind of cool. You can scan your products and it tells you like how clean it is or not. Okay, now Dr. Lisa's gonna talk about our favorite thing ever, and that's food. And I was just looking at this picture and I'm like, man, that looks really good.
So nutrition, like hydration, it seems so complex, but really just keep it simple. That's the thing I can stress the most. Keep your protein sources animal-based. Our bodies actually use animal-based proteins, or the bioavailability or the amount that it uses from the amount you consume is a way higher than it is from like a pea protein. So like beef is 95% bioavailable to us. So that means 95% of the protein that we consume, we're using. Egg white, our eggs are the best. They're 100% bioavailable. So you eat an egg, you're gonna use 100% of that protein that you're intaking. Now you go to a pea protein, you're only gonna use 30%. So if you intake 60 grams or like a 25 grams scoop of protein, you're only using 30% of that, which is 6 grams realistically is how much protein you're getting from that. So keeping an animal-based protein is far superior and a lot easier for our bodies to digest. Protein powders, so there's a million out on the market, and I use True Nutrition because you can go on their website and you can build your own protein powder. So you know exactly what you're getting. You can put whatever additives, if you want to add vitamins or carbs or whatever you want to add to it, you can add all those things. It's really great. I just get either egg white protein or a beef, some sort of beef protein. They have a ton of options. They have the pea proteins on there too, but however you wanna build that protein, it's great. You can do it yourself. And it's not as expensive as your traditional protein powders that you find in the store.
This is what I like to use. I like the brand Easy Nutrition, but Dr. Lisa's right, this is expensive. I don't know how much I pay for this, but I love it. I use vanilla, it's 23 grams of protein. And I also love bone broth because it tastes like hot chocolate. And you can mix it in smoothies, and I give it to my kids, I'm like, want a hot chocolate? I'm like, sure, Mom. I'm like, yeah, you're eating beef. So.
Yeah. And then, for tracking your macros, so this is, tricky too. So first, before we get into that, I'm gonna talk about what is ideal. Like, how much protein should we be taking every day? So, because you all are gonna be lifting weights, cause you're all, taking that away from tonight, right?
Yep.
You're gonna be intaking about 1/2 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So depending on how active you are, if you're not as active, do 1/2 pound per pound of body weight. Or 1/2 gram, if that's what I said, 1/2 pound, 1/2 gram.
Yeah.
1/2 gram per pound of body weight.
Don't they also say 30 grams of protein per meal?
Yeah, so you shouldn't go over 60, so you should get about 30 per meal.
30, 30, 30.
Yeah,
Or
And
even
no more
higher
than
than that,
60.
I'd get for 40.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I try to do 50 per meal. Like some meals, yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
40 is a nice in between.
And it depends on how many times you're eating, so you gotta make sure you're eating more than 1 time a day. Like, that is detrimental to or eating 1 time a day is actually very detrimental to our metabolism. It bottoms us out, we go into starvation mode, you will do nothing. You will get nowhere with eating 1 time a day. So you gotta be eating at least 3 times a day, okay?
Before I'm gonna answer your question, but before you continue, I just wanna mention fasting, cause fasting is a tool. And, I know I did a big workshop on it last year or the year before. Fasting can be good, to lose weight if you do it properly. It's tricky. So there's intermittent fasting, where you like have an eating window throughout the day, where you only eat during that time and you stop after that time, and I think that can be good. I typically don't eat after 6 or 7 o'clock, and then I don't eat till the next, so I typically intermittent fast for like 13 hours naturally, as I think we should do. But you can extend that longer for weight loss benefits. It can work for some people. You just have to make sure when you're eating that you're eating enough food and you're getting enough protein. That's hard. Or you could do like a longer fast a couple times a year, or I don't know, a couple times every other month or so, like a 36-hour fast, which is a good detox, puts your body into autophagy mode. That's for like another day, but I just wanted to add that in there, that fasting can be good for some people, but if you already don't eat enough, as I know some people in this room probably don't, then don't start to fast if you're only eating like once a day, because then your body will go into starvation mode.
Yeah, or, if you don't have good eating habits already, don't fast. You have to have good eating habits in order to get the benefits from fasting.
Question?
So, in my case, I can't do anything because I'm still recovering from the shoulder and
Yeah.
I have a broken foot.
Yeah.
So, my question is, do I decrease the amount of food I eat throughout the day because I'm not doing anything? I can't do anything.
Yes, I would. Yes.
Yes, so
Yes, I
so
would.
the answer to that is yes, but do not decrease the amount of protein you're
Right,
taking.
because
you
protein's
need-
gonna help you heal.
Okay.
So if you're gonna eat anything, focus on that protein first,
Okay,
and maybe decrease your carbs a little bit, because you aren't exercising, and when you move more, your body needs more carbs.
right.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Dr. Carla is also gonna talk about Cal AI. I know she uses that, and I think it's a beneficial tool if you've never tracked macros before. So Dr.
Right.
Carla can talk about it.
So
a little bit.
I gained some weight in the last year, because it's been extremely stressful. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, I look at the scale and I'm like, geez, like I didn't know that just came on like that. So I'm like, okay, how am I gonna tackle this? So like, I'm gonna start tracking, because it's easy to say like I'm gonna have 30 to 40 grams of protein a meal and this many carbs, and it's really hard to wrap your head around it. So I found this app, it's called Cal AI, And it's an AI app, and it takes a picture of your food, and it estimates your portions and what's in it, and then you can set your macros and like how much protein you want, how many calories a day. It's really cool. So I think I told you about, did I tell you about it? No, I told someone else about it. Maybe I did. I don't know. But Cal AI, very cool. Because I think when you're starting off and you want to lose weight and you're like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what a macro is and how much protein, carbs, and fat I should be eating. I think you should track it somehow. You can measure it the old fashioned way, which when you're starting off could be a good thing. You probably used to measure your food too.
That's all.
There's also MyFitnessPal too that does.
That's also a good one too.
Yeah.
So I think if you're
Pay for
really
that one.
serious about like tracking, like because you want to lose weight or you just want to make sure you're getting enough protein in there, like track it. I'm not saying you have to do it forever, but I did it and I've lost 6 pounds. So
Nice.
I feel like, and then I should also add in alcohol. Is just empty calories too, and it is poison. And then we're gonna stop at that because I don't want to get into it. So I'm not saying we never want to have a drink. Sorry, Bruce. And because we all like to, indulge sometimes, and it's okay. But I just want to say, if you're serious about losing weight, it's really hard to do that while drinking alcohol. So you kind of have to plan. Okay, tonight I'm sorry, everyone. I'm not saying we can never have it, but there is added calories, and of course, there's alcohol that has less calories than others. Like tequila.
It also makes any inflammation you have worse.
Yes.
Yes, that is correct.
So,
Drinking
for example, in the morning.
Yeah.
You have that whey powder.
Yeah, some mornings, yeah.
Okay.
Like
So-
I mix it in a smoothie, or I put this in plain yogurt, and Lisa taught me this trick, it's so good. Plain yogurt with a scoop of this, okay? Blueberries on top, and honey. Don't mix it. Put it in the fridge,
No, you mix the protein powder in
Yes,
the yogurt.
but not the blueberries and honey is what I meant
Yeah.
to say. You put it in the fridge, and you have it in the afternoon, and it tastes like dessert. It tastes like cheesecake. It's like so
Well,
good.
what I was asking.
Sorry.
That's like 23 grams of protein.
Probably
per scoop?
25.
25?
I agree.
So if you have that, yogurt has, a certain amount,
10.
there, or
Greek
let's say you have
yogurt.
an egg or something, all of a sudden you're above per meal of 30 and.
You won't be.
You won't be?
No.
Or you're above maybe your carbs or
Trust me, you're
something?
not.
No,
Maybe
you're not.
your carbs, but that's why it helps to use an app, because you might be over your fat, and your carbs. But then you get to the point where like, oh my God, I'm becoming obsessed with this. If you wanna just track one thing to start, just track protein,
Okay.
cause then it gets a little complicated.
Right.
But trust me, you're not eating enough protein, because you should be eating 3 or 4 eggs versus just 1 or 2.
It's very
Cause
hard.
egg, how many grams of protein in an egg for a chocolate?
40?
Three.
How many?
40?
In 1 egg?
Yeah.
I thought it was 6.
Yes, it's 6.
How much?
6.
Oh,
That's it. 6 grams.
okay, so maybe that's
So-
maybe 6 eggs.
Well, yeah.
It's
I
quite a
mean,
few, but then you got the fat in there, so we're gonna talk about that
Yeah.
later too. So I personally, when I started tracking macros many years ago, I always weighed my food. Always, I still do. I can pretty much look at a portion now and be like, that's how much carbs or protein is in that specific, or that's my serving size. I can look at that, but that's from years of weighing food. Unless you're meal prepping, you're like, I have to weigh my, oh, this is 6 ounces of salmon. Okay, this is 6 ounces. Yeah. But after you
No one
start
has time
doing
for
it,
that.
it literally takes about a month for your body to, or like for your mind to start recognizing, oh, that's about 6 ounces. Oh, that's about, and then you know how much protein's in that. And you're like, okay, that's a good amount for one meal, right? I highly recommend weighing your food if you're trying to lose weight. It is the best way to actually track exact macros. And we can talk about that later on, cause getting into macro counting is a whole nother subject and it's kind of a beast. But the most basic thing you can do for yourself if you are trying to lose weight is eat or like, not even just trying to lose weight, if you're trying to have a more robust life throughout the day, or like you don't feel super exhausted in the afternoon, it's eating most of your carbs in the morning. So I don't eat carbs, like they're minimal, in the evening, late afternoon, evening. So my last 2 meals, I actually eat 6 meals a day. So my last 2 meals have no, or the last 3 meals have no carbs at all. I intake all of my carbs in the first 3 meals of the day, and that's before noon.
Wow.
So,
What do you eat?
you don't wanna know.
And just wait, cause she's doing a fitness competition,
Oh.
so it's starting Monday. Yeah, her diet's pretty restrictive, but I eat 3 meals a day. And I've noticed since I've started tracking and increasing my protein, I have no desire to snack anymore. And I don't know if that's a combination of a lot of this stuff, like I'm taking creatine for the first time and like in the last year, other stuff I've added, but I feel like the protein is a big thing. And the days that I don't eat enough protein, cause I try to get like 130 to 440 grams, I'm just not, I don't sleep as well that night, I'm just not right the next day. I think protein.
You crave a lot more sweets.
You crave more, yeah, because protein satisfies you. So does fat,
Yeah,
but it's easy to eat too much fat. I'm not saying don't eat fat, because fat's good for you, but the whole keto thing, you can eat butter and bacon all day and think you're, that's not sustainable and it's not healthy.
So like,
It's fun, but it's like,
no, so back to the eggs though, so eggs are really high in fat, so if you're gonna have 6 eggs, you would eat 3 whole eggs and 3 egg whites. So you would never eat like 6 whole eggs, cause you would literally get the amount of fat you should get in one day in that one meal.
So give the egg yolks to your dog.
Yeah. So egg yolks are great and they're really beneficial for us, but too
Yes,
much,
the
like
yolk,
put you
yeah.
over the top with fat.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But like she said, like macro counting, it's complicated. Like we could do a class on that if you want us to, that would be cool.
That'd be good.
It's a lot of work.
It's very individualized, so
Yeah.
it's challenging for that
Are
reason.
you done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do anyone else have questions about
And don't be afraid of
Nutrition.
salt, like salting your food.
I love salt.
salt
And
is our best friend?
cooking and fat, cooking and butter, like that's good stuff.
That's what I asked
I
about.
hope we don't have to talk about like seed oils and vegetable oils and we're not using those, right?
The what?
Seed oils, vegetable oils,
Olive
cooking at
oil.
home with vegetable oil.
No.
Okay. When you go to a restaurant, 90% of the time they're cooking with vegetable oil. Okay, so just know that, like if, I love to eat out, Dr. Dave and I are foodies, we love to eat out, but we know that it's not the best oils, so we cook at home most of the time. I have some very obsessive friends who go to restaurants, like 5-star restaurants, and they talk to the chef and ask the chef to cook in butter. So you could do that if you're like one of those people. I'm just not gonna do that, but just know that they're not using the best.
So what's the
Oil.
best oil to use? So like if you're gonna cook,
Butter,
butter?
Beef
So no
tallow.
like.
beef
uh,
tallow,
for
lard,
heat, like
coconut oil,
if
What
it's like a
about,
high heat, it's
avocado
Olive
oil.
olive oil is good, but you don't want to heat it up very much.
Not very high. There's certain oils like they have a heat
Yeah.
limit, but I like using avocado oil to cook in because it doesn't have a weird taste.
I don't like avocados.
But
You
the
don't
oil
taste
is
like
not, it
avocado.
doesn't taste like an avocado.
Yeah,
Oh,
the oil
no?
doesn't.
It doesn't-
taste like avocado.
It's good.
Oh, okay.
But butter, a little bit of butter to cook your eggs in is great.
The only brand though for avocado oil, cause there's been a lot of tests done on it, is there's a lot of, avocado oils that are actually mixed with seed oils. So the chosen brand is the one that actually has pure.
Okay.
And there's a lot of olive oils out there that aren't pure olive oil either.
Yeah, you have to read the
Right.
labels.
Yeah.
Like,
Always.
so
Where-
we gotta be
where do they
careful with
come from
that.
matters.
Yeah.
Italy.
Same with wine apparently now. They're saying like don't drink wine from California now because there's so much pesticides on it.
That's
I
heartbreaking.
heard that.
So,
It's terrible.
sorry, I'm such a Debbie Downer, aren't I? Okay, I know you guys are probably tired, but we're gonna talk about sleep real quick.
So yeah, so sleep really quick. I know I said I'm gonna go in depth with this, but it's actually really simple. Set a bedtime routine. Hour before you go to bed, no screen. That will literally wake you up. You will not sleep well. Even though like people, you go to sleep with the TV on, you're like, I can't sleep without the TV. Give it 2 weeks, you will fall asleep just fine and you will sleep better. You'll wake up feeling more rested. Trust me, I used to sleep with the TV on. I would be like, oh yeah, I fall asleep with the TV going, yeah. I get such a way better rest now that I don't do that. So, like we talked about, the morning sunlight sets you up for early melatonin release so that you can fall asleep easier at nighttime. 1 to 2 hours before bed, no screens. What I mean by create a sleepy time environment, you're gonna find something you're going to do. So there was this book I read, and it was like, pick 6 to 10 things that you're gonna do for either, like, if you pick 6 things, you're gonna do each, or like those 6 things 10 minutes, for 10 minutes each evening. So this is another consistency thing. You pick those 6 things and you're like, I wanna do this every night for the rest of my life, right? So you're like, you're gonna meditate before you go to bed. Do your meditation the first 10 minutes, because you're probably gonna go on your phone to put the meditation going. So the first 10 minutes, okay? And then your next 10 minutes, you're like, I'm gonna do whatever you decide to do. I'm gonna read my book. I'm gonna do whatever it is. Keep that routine consistent. And you will, and do not do any of these things in bed. So do not read in bed, do not meditate in bed, do not do anything in bed. When you go to bed, there should be no lights on, no screens. You should be going to sleep.
What if you like music?
You can listen to music, like a light, soft music as you sleep. That's actually beneficial, like sound machines, things like that. That might actually like mitigate some of that. A lot of people sleep with the TV on because of the sound. They like the sound. So yeah, you can have, you can get like little noise boxes too for bedtime that will sing music to you, or you know, those things. But yeah, so I personally, for sleep, I started taking an inositol. It actually helps with your circadian rhythm as well. It helps you get into a deeper sleep quicker in the night. So I've had sleep issues most of my life, so I take magnesium and inositol every night to sleep, or to help me get better sleep.
Yeah.
So.
I bought this stuff like a few weeks ago, and I don't know if it's like the placebo effect or what's happening, but it's got like tart cherry juice, superfood berries, calcium citrate, magnesium citrate, magnesium glycinate. I don't know, my sleep score and my Oura ring has been like fabulous. I also finally, for the first time in my life, bought blackout curtains, because my neighbor across the street doesn't turn the outside lights off, and it was driving me crazy, and finally I broke down and I bought like $20 curtains, and they're fabulous.
The red light therapy also helps.
Red
with
light,
sleep.
I use red light every day,
It
but
helps
also what she said about don't read in bed.
I don't read.
So we had this chair in my room that super old, and my dog sleeps on there, and I read in there. I read my book and then I go to bed. We got rid of the chair, and for a week the other chair I ordered hadn't come in, so I was reading in bed. Not only is it terrible for your neck and your spine, but something about it, like my sleep was just really crappy that week when I read in bed. So if you have a chair in your room, buy one. I don't know. I bought one on Wayfair for like $300, and then go to your bed and you're ready for sleep.
What happened
And
to
don't
the
go to
dog
sleep.
for a week?
Pardon?
What happened to the dog for a week? You got rid of his bed.
She slept in my daughter's room, but like, I love that you think about the dog. And all the free things we mentioned on that first slide are all gonna help with sleep, okay? But the biggest is the screens and the morning sun. If you can change any habits, you gotta get your sun. Like it's so important, and no one ever taught me this. I like learned this like 3 years ago. I'm like, morning sun helps with your sleep, but you know those days you're outside all day in the summer, you're like at the beach or outside, like you sleep better those nights. You're exhausted because you know you're outside in the fresh air, but like you sleep better because when you're outside. Even on these cold days, like try to get out and move your body. Okay, last slide. Favorite extras, because I like just sharing things I love. In that gift basket back there, there's a gift card to Littleton Coffee Company. Have you guys ever gone there in Westford? It's like past Soul Kitchen on the left, like this little florist shop, and it's like, pardon?
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah,
right over
it's the
there.
cutest, bestest place. They have such good coffee. There's a gift card there for that. I love the Westford Bakery. She has like a little food trailer, like it's a coffee trailer. It's pink. She has it around like the different fairs and festivals. We're gonna have her at our big 20th anniversary party we're having in May. Like seriously, the best coffee. So these two places, like I don't love Starbucks, I don't love Dunkin' Donuts, but these two places are the best coffee. Littleton Coffee and Westford Bakery. We also love Nan's Kitchen down the street. They have a lot of healthy options. Really good chicken. I have about a 25-minute drive to and from work every day. So during COVID, I started listening to podcasts so I could get my mind off of the crazies. And I love listening to podcasts. And I listen to a lot of chiropractic podcasts, but I also love Dr. Huberman. He's not a doctor. He's a doctor. He's a PhD. Dr. Andrew Huberman.
He's a neurologist.
He's a neurologist at Stanford. He's got a great podcast. Dr. Lisa listens to him. I love Joe Rogan. I can't help it. I love him. You can't listen to him every day because he has like 5 guests a week and his podcasts are like 3 hours long. But I like to pick and choose. He's not a biased person. He's very like straightforward, doesn't take sides. He's just like really great to listen to. And I know I talked a lot before about Dr. Mindy Pels. She is a doctor and she talks a lot about women's hormones, perimenopause and menopause. If any of you guys are interested in that, she has a great podcast called the Resetter Podcast. Our favorite book, and we give this to our patients, is called Atomic Habits. All the stuff we talked about tonight, this is like the bread and butter of that. Like, this is the book if you want to create good habits and consistency. And this guy, Dr. Josh Axe, I like his. He's a chiropractor, social media. He wrote a book called Think This, Not That. 12 Mind Shifts to Break Through Limiting Beliefs and Become Who You Were Born to Be. Those are great. These are a list of social media accounts that I like, that I follow. Ours is on there, Westford Carbs, it's a good one. So these are all great. I think if you're gonna be online, at least flood some of your feed with some good health stuff, because there's a lot of junk out there. Dr. Lisa likes the book called The Immunity Fix by, what's his name?
Dr. James D. Antonio. I'll talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing I want to mention with food, grocery stores, I think you can get most of the food and good things at all the grocery stores. Even Market Basket, there's some good stuff on sale. I know you were talking about Market Basket earlier, the produce. I have a company that I like called Thrive Market. It gives you a discount on different health foods and it delivers right to your door. And I also use like a food meal company 3 times a week. That like healthy pre-cooked meals that they don't use seed oils. It's called Feast and Fettle, and they're local out of Boston. We've got really good reviews. I just wanted to share that with you. Hang on. Okay, I mentioned my free book already, so you can just add to that.
Yeah, so my favorite book, health book, is actually The Immunity Fix, and Dr. James D. Antonio. So if you follow him on Instagram, he has posts every day, and he will post the most basic things about health and wellness, and it is brilliant stuff, basic stuff that we've already talked about. But he wrote The Immunity Fix right after COVID happened, about 6 months in. He originally wrote The Salt Fix. That was his first book that he actually wrote, and it was talking about how we demonize salt in our culture because of hypertension or cardiovascular disease, but in fact we need more salt. When you actually decrease salt, you have higher blood pressure. You have a higher risk of having arteriosclerosis and things like that. Sugar is actually the problem. So make sure you're not limiting salt unless there is like 3% of the population who is really sensitive to salt and it causes hypertension, but that's 3% of the population. It's not 70. Okay. The Immunity Fix talks a lot about the immune system and how to best support your immune system to stay healthy. That's Dr. James D. Antonio. He's just a brilliant, he has a brilliant mind. He's a neurology, majored in neurology. And then Dr. Kyle Daigle, if you have kids or if you know someone who has kids, great information for nervous system development in children. So he's a functional chiropractor, functional neurologist chiropractor, and he works a lot with kids with left and right brain disconnect, which most of us have to some degree. So he has great information.
Any questions on this? I feel like we missed something, but I hope we didn't. But favorite book, Atomic Habits, we just talked about that. Small changes, big results. So if you can take anything away from today, consistency, favorite word about health, but pick 3 things you learned today and implement that or change that. 3 things. If you want to share your 3 things, that'd be fun too. If you want to tell me what you're going to do. So it's not about being perfect, because no one's perfect, okay? We all go through our ups and downs. but again, it's about consistency, perfect health, philosophy, alignment. Start with the free stuff, okay? Build on that. Keep your supplements minimal. And it's all about like the long game, doing this forever. So like I said, it's not about bathing suit season, it's not about dry January or whatever you're doing. It's about your life and your 100-year-old self who can lift heavy things. Because that could be, you know, you lifting up your grandkid or getting yourself up out of a chair or that stuff that's important like when you're older. So think about every action you take, what would my 100-year-old self think about this? Okay? Because we're all gonna live to 100. Okay, questions?
I have a question.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on collagen?
Oh, God, missed that. Collagen's great. For